Welcome to the trenches, and I'm your host, the Trench Wolf. I wanted to do this first session on this new channel that we're putting up. We have other channels out there that have to do with correctional unions and politics in Arizona, but I want to do a safe space for everyone, whether you're a correctional officer here in Arizona, California, New York, and I got friends all over the place over there. It doesn't matter. This should apply to you because we're all sitting in the same trench. That's why I call myself the Trench Wolf, and why I'm comparing this job that we do, working in prisons, as being in a trench of warfare. It's no different in 2022. It's only going to get worse. Staff that work in prison right now, whether it's here in another state, are stuck in a trench, man, just like in the wartime, just like you see in World War I movies. It's a big trench in the middle of no man land. On one side, you have an inmate population that sometimes are not so friendly with us, not always, not all the time. And on the other side, we have a more hostile enemy approaching, and that's the bureaucrats, the politicians, and the administrators that run your prisons. It's the same story. Again, I got friends everywhere, man. It is the same shitty story no matter where you go. As time rolls on, 2022, rules and laws are getting more stringent, and it's becoming apparent that officers are becoming a liability and at the same time an expendable asset, okay? They don't value you. They'll tell you, I'm sure it's the same in every state. Like I said, I got friends everywhere, man. They put you through classes and they let you know that this is the way you have to behave and this is the way, and yada, yada. Bullshit. As soon as you go to the field, they make you forget all that, and it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's the same story all over the place, guys. So not just in Arizona, everywhere. So if you're into corrections or you've got a family member that's in corrections, this is not going to be new, okay? Short staffing, changes of politics and rules and regulations and policies that seem to fuck staff and all good for the prisoners and just, things like that. The self-defense they teach these days, I don't know, there might be another state, I might be wrong, there might be some state teaching some good stuff, but the ones I know of is the same shit. They'll teach you these self-defense maneuvers that are supposed to help you in prison, and they don't. They're garbage, watered down bullshit. I don't even know where they came. They're worse than the YouTube channels, with all these kung fu fucking masters popping up left and right. But it's all garbage. It's meant to protect the administration against lawsuits in case you do something in there. If you get even attacked by an inmate, there's procedures you have to do, and if you cross the line, they can always come back and go, we didn't teach them that shit. We've got a curriculum. This is the way it goes. And some of you might not like hearing that, especially new staff. If you don't like hearing that, I don't know what to tell you. Get some times, get some water behind your ears, guys. Don't get insulted with that. But when you're brand new in the system, it takes like 2 to 3 years to get indoctrinated enough to see that you're stuck in a fucking trench. All right. And it's not a good thing. So part of the reason we put together this YouTube video is so that we can talk frankly, you and I, and with our friends. I have people that I plan to bring in and do interviews with and give you sessions and stuff. All of this is going to be shooting from the fucking hip. All right, we're not going to hold anything back at all. And I'm never going to, here's my promise to you, I'm never going to put anything on my YouTube channel that has not been tried and trued in the field. All right. I don't go on any hunting expedition, or I don't go to war with a weapon that has not been proven, okay? I don't want to hear that shit. Everything we show is going to be something that has been proven, has been utilized, is being utilized. Some of the shit that they're utilizing the wrong way, we're going to correct it without crossing the lines to protect yourselves, all right? So we'll be discussing procedures inside the prisons that are nothing aboriginal here. Everything applies to every prison. How to feed inmates, how to deal with them, how to talk to them, how to stand your ground, what happens when you get attacked with them, what do you got to do when you take one down? The right way to do it. There is a right way. Okay, I know there's a lot of jiu-jitsu experts and all this shit that you see on there, but prison's prison. It'd be nice if I get attacked by one guy and I do some of that Brazilian jiu-jitsu stuff they show, but getting attacked by 2, 3, 4 inmates like you saw in that video in the beginning is nothing pleasant, right? That's just not going to work. You need more skills, and you can't be second guessing on what to do at that time. So we'll be giving guidance on the proper way to defend yourselves, how to get yourself in shape the right way. I'm not going to sit here and give you watered down shit that you see from other YouTube channels and all that, and none of that. Okay, everything we do is tried and true. I'm not an expert in these things. I just happen to come through the system at a time when those things were still permissible. And I was taught by some good people, You know, it's funny, when I went through the military in 1981, it was a transition going on from, you know, the Vietnam, World War II mentality, and, you know, they had transitioned from old weapons to modern weapons like the M16, and you hear a lot of talk from the old timers saying, you know, we had a way of doing things that worked, and now they want to modernize everything with unproven shit. Some of that was true when I went through Fort Benning. I didn't know at the time. I was young, and I was just thinking, I don't know what any of you talking about. And when I came into the prison system in 1995 as a correctional officer, it was the same thing. We were going from a knuckle-dragging mentality into a more modern zone, all right? They went from one system of activating systems, they used to call it the IMS back there, for inmate management system, to the ICS, all right? Which is, it's a more modern system compared to that. It's an incident command system. And some of it's good and some of it's bad. What I'm saying is this, all right? You got to pay attention. What makes things progress? Sometimes it's good stuff. But in prisons are set in stone. We're dealing with criminals, murderers, assassins, cartel members. We're dealing with a hodgepodge of bad people, okay? We have to use things that are tried and true. We can't just discard them because somebody doesn't like them. Because people, we're at war here. Anytime you step onto a prison ground, you're at war. If you think you're not at war, I don't know what prison you're working at. God bless you if that's happening. In fact, you can leave a comment and say, I work in a prison with nothing happening. I mean, it's beautiful. I love coming to work every day. It's grand. I hear music. I hear crickets. I hear Disney music. I don't know. I want to know where that's at because I haven't found one yet. Okay? Everything we're talking about is short staffing, and it just escalated with this problem with the COVID coming in. We had problems in Arizona where the director didn't want to give our staff masks to wear because he didn't want the public to think that there was a problem in prison. And meanwhile, my inmates are dying, my staff are dying. It's a clusterfuck, and that's why we decided to put this YouTube channel together for you guys. This is particularly for correctional officers, but you're going to see that police officers as well is going to learn a thing or two by watching this channel, and they'll be going, that's familiar. Again, there's nothing new here. Okay, some of these lessons come from another time, another place. Some of them come from the military. Some of them come from the actual war zone of being in prison, attacked by inmates. You know, I've been attacked by inmates so many times. I've been had feces thrown on me. I've eaten shit before it went down my throat. I've been stabbed, trying to stab me, didn't happen. I've been assaulted, you know, with an inmate hand to hand, and it was a bloody mess. It's nothing like the movies, you know, nothing like the movies when that happens. And we want to expose that and talk about it and give you a platform to watch it and talk about it and learn from it. All right. Again, what I'm going to show you in these videos here, it's not junk. It's not bullshit. I'm calling it. It's old. It's not. It's like, you know, this comes from the battlefields. This is like telling a Navy SEAL, hey, the shit you guys do don't work. It absolutely works. They're at it 24/7. They do only proven methods. I'm not comparing the Department of Corrections to Navy SEALs, but we have our own war. And we learned our own lessons, and we have to apply what each other learned and show it. And it's not happening. You go to the academy, they give you what you need to know so that the department doesn't get in trouble, not you. All right? Not you. You can get in trouble all you want. Fuck you. You're expendable. In Arizona, I call them spackle. That's what they think we are, spackle. You know, there's a hole in the wall. They use staff to patch that wall, and they don't give a shit about anything. And when things go wrong, they point their fingers at you and their crappy policies, and this is what we taught you, and why did you do that? Even when fighting for your life, believe it or not, they can tell you one thing, and when it does go down, unless you know exactly what you're doing and have a mentality from another time, and with these lessons, you can get yourself in trouble, especially if you're new in the department. So we'll be doing videos on everything, man, from procedures down the run in the trenches, how to deal with it, how to deal with violence in your face in the trenches, how to deal with it when you're outside. They say you don't take this job home. It's the biggest crock of shit you've ever seen, right? Everybody takes their job home. You cannot possibly work in prison or law enforcement or anywhere and come home and just poo-poo it all away, all right? You got to deal with violence, and it's escalating in the streets. All that thing bleeds over. So we'll show videos on how to take care of yourself on the street too. Things that work. None of this bullshit you see. There's a lot of bullshit out there in videos, man. I get tired of watching all these gun masters and X this and X that and paratroopers and special ops. That shit doesn't apply to us. We're in a prison environment. I'm wearing this shirt because I'm going to range today and I still have a military mindset. But when it comes to prison, I do things that were handed down from another time and another place, and I kept that. It kept it safe for 20 years, and I want to share that with you. Now, you'll notice, before I get off here from running my mouth, but there's another website that I have, and it's called AZCPOA Wolf Den. And this is a whole nother thing. I put it on there for corrections because they want to stay on top of things, especially people in Arizona. In case you're not familiar with that website, I tell you what the unions be doing. We've been on Channel 15 so many times exposing all this shit that's going on, trying to protect our staff. We've had one director fired, and we're probably going to have another one here real quick because this guy is just as bad, you know. All they're doing is protecting their asses and throwing our staff under a boat. So we can't do that no more, man. So that's what these videos are going to be. And there's going to be some live fire videos that we'll do, combat videos. This new thing that's coming up, man, I hate to even say it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You go to the malls and you got people with ARs and shit. School, they're even going into our schools. I mean, you saw the video recently in a school. It looks like the cops didn't even want to go in there. What the fuck, man? Seriously, we can't allow that. If my child's in a school and you're an active shooter in there, and I'm not waiting for the police, man. I'm armed to the teeth, and I'm that mentality, and I want everyone to stay safe and have that kind of mentality too, because there's no other way to survive. If you think you're going to survive by being a pacifist, I got to tell you, man, there's an old saying, if you want peace, you got to prepare for war, all right? So that's what these videos do in a candid way. We're going to do videos on all that, even active shooting, what to do when you got your family out, where to sit in restaurants, the right way to flip tables and get behind there, draw your firearm. If you're allowed to carry a firearm, you got to use that privilege, man. You got to carry. If you got a right to carry, carry. In Arizona, we're still like in a Western society here. We carry, back in the West, we have guns on our sides. We got guns concealed. We don't play around here, you know. But in every state, you can get a permit. You can carry a handgun. Don't get lazy. You got to train, and that's what the intention of this YouTube channel is for. It's a safe space for the correction officers and myself and my organization, and you'll see more coming soon. Until then, I tell you this: stay safe, and remember, anytime you step into a prison system, anytime you're in those runs, you're in a trench, and if you're in a trench, you're at fucking wars, my friend. Agree or disagree, we can, what's that saying? Agree to disagree? I don't even like that shit. It's a fact that when you step into a run, you're at war. Until then, I'm the Trench Wolf. God bless. Watch each other's six. Nobody's going to do it for you.